Okay, so we are live. Hey everybody, I am Dreamerz. Welcome. We have tonight, it's going to be a Google Hangout with myself and Quasi-Luminous. We're both going to be talking about a particular topic. I'm not going to go into the details of our individual videos. I have to pause my 30 seconds ago self. So anyways, if you guys want to know more about our individual thoughts on the particular subject, both Quasi-Luminous and I have whole entire video sections devoted to this particular topic. But tonight, we're just going to step out and we're going to share our feelings with one another and our thoughts with one another. This by no means is like a hardcore debate. This does not mean that we're enemies. This does not mean that we don't agree on many things or have questions about other things. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start off and we're going to take 5 minutes each, kind of going back and forth, discussing our views on things and maybe asking questions or talking about things from there. So I'm going to kick things off. We're talking about blood over intent. If you have not heard of blood over intent, do a Google search or check out our previous videos we've already done. Basically, blood over intent is whenever a person writes out on a piece of paper something as simple as I intend to bring forth heaven on earth, and then they prick their finger and they sign it in their blood or just with their blood in general. So here are some of my initial thoughts that I would like to talk about it. Basically, I come from like a background where my mind started to become open as I studied religion. And I started diving into the Bible because that was my main focus at the time, and that helped me to branch out and evolve mentally and spiritually and energetically. And I started finding, inconsistencies in religion itself. So whenever I heard about the blood over intent phenomenon, I wasn't sure how to feel about it. And I like to take things kind of slow, and I like to research them and not just dive right in, but sort of let things marinate while I check them out, And blood over intent for me at first seemed a lot like Christian baptism. So in Christian baptism, basically, whenever they wanted to express their salvation or that they were born again or that they were thinking differently, in some Christian circles, people would go get baptized. And this would be an outward expression of something that's happening inward, an inward condition. And so I kind of see blood over intent as being symbolic in that way, that there is some sort of awakening going on. And after having watched Quasi-Luminous's videos, he started getting really excited about blood over intent and really encouraging people to participate in this in order to eventually make a journey to the North Pole, which you can hear all about on his channel. So a baptism-like thing for me, or a symbolic thing for me, the most important thing, whether it be baptism or blood over intent, the most important thing for me is the condition that the energy at our core is in, the condition that the spirit is in. And so for me, that's really what I've been focusing on a lot, is that energy. So I look at energy in two forms. I look at it potentially. So I think of potential energy as being intention or our thoughts that have not manifest themselves into this dimension or into this vibrational state. Basically, we haven't acted upon our thoughts. We have not brought them outwardly yet. They're still within. Potential energy. And kinetic energy would be whenever those thoughts manifest themselves physically and we express ourselves, we express that potential, and we become a conduit for that energy to be expressed outwardly in action. So blood over intent, a person wants to bring forth heaven on earth. So if we stop right there and a person has that intention and it sounds wonderful on the surface, I would like to do this. I would like to have this end result, which is a positive intention. If you stop right there and a person simply allows that intent to grow within them and to manifest in their life, then to me, I feel like that's really what's important. And I don't see the need for, writing it down. Not that it's bad to write it down. It's okay to write it down and, give yourself a reminder or what have you. But I don't see it as being a necessary element in writing it down, and especially don't see the need to damage the body in order to bring about blood and sign it in your blood. I talk about bypassing blood over intent, that it's not needed whatsoever. Maybe for some people, it's like a sticky note, like a reminder to self, or maybe a reminder to other people so that they're held accountable. Hey, you promised that you'd be a better person. Hey, you promised you would help to bring forth heaven on earth, so I'm going to hold you accountable to that. And I kind of see it like that. And it seems to me that, the actual action of signing a contract or a promise to do something is nowhere near as powerful as actually deciding within and allowing the will of the Spirit to simply manifest itself in one's actions by a deed well done and a word well spoken. And then the last thing I'll say before I pass the mic over to Quasi is blood. It's called blood magic. And the reason I think it's called blood magic is because it's a form of alchemy. And alchemy is whenever a person is using ingredients mixed together to manipulate the energetic world, to manipulate energy, because ultimately everything is energy. So this is a practice of the transmutation of base metals into gold. That's alchemy. Now that's of it, because we don't really care about changing base metals into gold. It's symbolic, and it's a metaphor for changing base vibrations into high vibrations. So those high vibrations to me are the goal. And in order to raise one's vibration, one need only to focus on that, renew their mind and change their mind, and let that manifest accordingly in their daily actions and how they speak. So that's sort of my intro, and I'm going to pass the mic over to Quasi. Quasi, you have the floor.
I agree with you, Jay. Like I say over and over and over, I'm only looking for 144,000. So whatever the number of people out there is, as long as they go with your idea, that's good. I only want 144,000 to place their blood beside my own that can see it. We're going to lead the way with the first wave, open up the doorway. And then the people who didn't put up their blood over intent will be able to pass through because we put up our blood over intent. So, you either see it or you don't. I'm with you, Jay. We don't want everybody to put their blood up. We just want the best of the best to put up their blood, the 144,000. So the idea would be to deter people from putting their blood up, because only those who can really see it, that know only the devil hides his intent. And the only way out of that door is by putting up your intent and backing it with your spiritual currency. Like I put up gallons upon gallons of blood, and then I projected outwardly to the world that I'm Satan, the Antichrist, this type of stuff. And it scares people. It's supposed to scare people because that scroll that the Creator has, that's, I say put your blood up beside your brethren and scroll down. You see all of us side by side. That's the Creator's digital scroll. He only wants, or she only wants, whichever you prefer, only wants 144,000 of us to crack the door open, to become immortal first and lead the way. Being that we're here to bring forth heaven on earth, the rest of the people don't have to worry. We're bringing forth this for your benefit. So, I'm with you, Jay. I agree with you. We want to scare people away from this. So we want to shake people to their core with this idea that, I've stolen the idea of Satan by putting up gallons of blood. Now, not even anybody on the earth can put up that much blood without killing themselves. So Not anybody can contest it. So when you put your blood up, you got to understand that they said this was Satan's world, and I stole all that power. Now it's directed at heaven and earth. It's this way specifically for a reason, because it's supposed to scare everybody away. Only 144,000 will have the heart to see it. That's it. The rest of the people will have to follow in our footsteps after, because we broke the doorway into the Garden of Eden, and we led the way. And I'm with you. I prefer to scare most of the people away, because we just want the best of the best with the most pure blood. And that makes sense to me. So I'm with you, Jay. Let's scare them away from the idea. You know, I'm really with you, Jay. We want to scare as many people away from the idea as possible. We only want 144,000. That's the book of life. It's exactly that way for a reason. So I'm on your team, bro. It just hasn't sunk in yet.
All right. So I want to ask you about the 144,000 specifically. Especially, I mean, obviously that's a biblical number, right? Why is it you personally, like, where did you get the number 144,000? I mean, I know it's in the Bible, but why do you feel like that's such an important number? The blood over intent people join up in that number.
Well, originally I was saying 2 million, and then it just took a hold of me, and it said, my God, it's not 2 million, it's 144,000. That's a book of life. Nobody knows the names in the book of life because we're the ones writing it in ourselves. You know, you're either alive or you're dead. You either know that you're a filthy necrophiliac lost at sea, and when you play that in reverse, it says, I leave for heaven in a nice new ship. What's the chance of that, Jay? You know, you play my words in reverse, and you get that type of stuff. So, like I said, the initial exodus is only fitting 144,000. That's the book of life. Not everybody can go. The hole is only so big. So only so many people can gangbang it at the same time. We have to lead the pathway in, and then the rest of everybody can follow that didn't do their blood over intent. But we're going to crack the door for everybody. So, you know, that scroll that the creator's making is literally that list of blood over intents. Those are the people that that were sent here to do that. That's why we're in the book of life. The rest of the people, what I can see are phantoms in the computer. They're already dead. They've already uploaded their conscious into a computer. They're not getting out. They can get to the Holy Grail and live forever and not have to go through this recycle stuff. But even that's over also, because we're getting to the Holy Grail before we're dead, and that means anybody else who's born into this world after that is going to make it to the Holy Grail. The moon recycling system is over. Everything's over with this. So, like I said, I don't want to wake up everybody. I just need to wake up 144,000. I'd rather scare more people away, you know, because we just want, like, what they call the cream of the crop. The ones who can actually see it. The ones who feel special, who feel driven by that goddess of the earth, the great dragon Typhon, the mother of all creation. Jesus places his son into the Holy of Holies, where the Holy Grail is at the center of the earth, spiraling in, spiraling out, bringing the seasons. And this is a conscious living being that's born out of it. The Aurora Borealis, that's the earth's memory. That is the infinite potential. And that's what's running through me. I live on that. And I can see, you know, the Lawnmower Man character inserting his consciousness into the computer. When I put up all that spiritual currency, I ended up in the computer. Now I have 1 foot in the matrix and 1 foot in reality, and I can see stuff nobody can see. And I'm going to benefit everybody with this power. This is not for my personal gain. This is for your gain. I'm trying to get you eternal life. If you want it, you will come with me and you will live. You don't have to put up your blood. Like I said, there's going to be a first wave, a second wave, a third wave, and only 144,000 are written in the book of life. The rest of the people don't have any blood to spill because they're already dead. They're legally dead. They have Borg assimilated you. When you were born, they took a soul print off your foot, at birth and they mailed it off to the Vatican. Now you have your cell phone with cameras on both sides. You're Borg assimilated. You know, you're going to get your thumbprint authenticator and your locator. Every year it's going to upgrade into a new model. And, you know, I can see all the way through it. Everything is this way for a reason. There's only supposed to be 144,000. I'd rather help you deter people from the idea than make them do this, because you have to really know it's in you for sure. I know it's in me for sure. That's why I put up so much blood. And I put up so much blood that nobody else really needs to put up any blood, because, you know, I just needed to change myself to change the world. I didn't need to change the world. I just needed to change myself with my blood. And when I did that, now I can see this is my crack in the universe. And there's a lot of people. Everybody's connected to it. I only need 144,000 of you to see it my way.
Okay. So what I'm hearing as well is a lot of, it sounds a lot like there's a lot of biblical terms. There's a lot of Christianity, like Christian concepts. I don't want to call it Christianity because, you know, you get a lot of flack from Christians, but there's a lot of like biblical terms in there. And I know you've mentioned, you know, like Yahweh, the four-faced, four-letter God. And I know that some people are understanding some of the concepts that you present, especially as, you know, as you sort of, you know, talk about Satan and God. And I understand how there can be confusion amongst other people, because I get that on my channel every once in a while. What I really want to focus on is, I hear you say a lot that only the devil hides his intent. Now, pertaining to blood over intent, this is how I see it. I see my intentions become manifest as I live my life. So my intentions are not hidden simply because, you know, I didn't write them down and let you read them, but I let you read them personally. I let everyone read them as I walk out my life, as I live out my life. My intentions become manifest. And I think there's probably a lot of people out there that feel similarly, that intentions are not hidden just because they don't declare them to the world, but their intentions come out. Their intentions are evident in and of themselves whenever you're around the person, whenever you speak to them, you listen to them, and you see their actions. And, you know, that kinetic energy, or that potential energy, becomes kinetic, and it goes out and it actually affects the world. I mean, you and I are here because of other people's intentions, and not just their intention, but their intention became manifest, not through writing, but through the actions that they took in their lives. So that's why I really focus on the action part.
Did they not call those actions blood, sweat, and tears? That's the exact term. They're actions. You built that house, you hit your thumb, it's blood, sweat, and tears. You go through blood, sweat, and tears to manifest reality.
Yeah, and I totally agree with you. I think where we might see things a little differently is the blood part, right? The blood is inside of a person. And while the blood is inside, it's right there in proximity to what people call the spirit, or to the core energy and around the aura of a person. So for me, whenever I look at blood, and I know that you've said, you know, that blood is the most powerful substance in the universe, right?
That's why
and
it's
so
supposed to be for a small portion of us are supposed to know this, so that the power is in our hands and only our hands. So, like I said, I prefer to deter people from this because the power can be overwhelming. I know I have a lot of, I know I'm holding up the weight of the world. It doesn't matter what people believe. I'm taking over the world whether they like it or not, because I put up so much spiritual currency that I was given eyes to see stuff that you associate with Jesus or Satan, or both of them combined as one. And that's what we're doing. We're uniting the dark and the light, the good and the bad, and no soul left behind. The book of life only has 144,000. Nobody's supposed to see this but those 144,000, so that the power of the universe is only in those people's hands, so that nobody can stop this train of heaven coming to earth. So like I said, I'm with Jay on this. I prefer to deter people from the idea of spilling their blood. You either see it or you don't. And like I said, this doesn't deter you. This doesn't mean you can't get into the Garden of Eden. This means this is a first wave going through first, a second wave, and then a third wave. You'll likely be immortal on the third wave or second wave, but you're going to become immortal if you choose to. We're going to clear the pathway for everybody, whether they have their blood up or not. The Book of Life only had 144,000 names in it for a reason, because everybody else is literally dead and uploaded into a computer. They have no body to go back to. The 144,000 came here to do a mission, reprogram the computer, and get back to our bodies above the water. When you go see Vaughn's video that he just made with the Egyptian hieroglyphs, and you see it, it backs up everything I'm telling you word for word. You really can't escape it. You either see it or you don't. So, like I said, I'm not trying to wake everybody up. I only want to wake up 144,000 of you. And like I said, I'm with Jay. You don't want to do this unless you see it or not, you know. So I'm on Jay's team as far as that's concerned.
All right, so the 144,000, it sounds like that's pretty much coming like right out of the Bible. And so I wanted to ask you a question.
I can actually see it.
I want to ask this question for everybody, really. Does action lead to enlightenment, or does enlightenment lead to action?
Well, let me answer this. I was a retard floating on a ball through space as a monkey, and then I put up a little bit of blood, and an elemental part of me sent out to the universe to grab memory out of the Akashic record and bring it right to me. And with that, it immediately made another video under the Satan one, because they said Satan owns the world. So I captured this and then directed all the energy at heaven and earth. What's happening is that every time you put up your blood, it's an act of your creator. And it's not about changing the universe, it's about changing you. Because once you change you, then you see how to change the universe through the crack in the universe from the comfort of home. I make one video and wake up 10,000 people. You know, I leave everybody alone face to face. I don't talk to anybody. I sit here from the comfort of home. My wife is cool with it. My son's cool with it. The people who love me just want me making Holy Grail videos because they can see the prize. And they put their blood up. They can see what I see. And they know that we're going to get there before we're dead. And we're going to save the world. And everybody who's around there, whether they're good or bad, light or dark, it's no soul left behind. Everybody's coming if they want to. Nobody will be forced to get eternal life, but when you see that your mom and dad don't have to die and it was never meant to be that way, the Holy Grail's right over there. I can actually see it. It's pulling me. Every video I make about it, it's conscious. The sun above your head is conscious. That's the collective consciousness of the whole. You're in a black hole and it's on loop through the Holy of Holies. You bow your head in prayer to the black sun. You put on your black satanic robe. You wear your mortar-board hat. Every word you speak is a magic spell. You're supposed to be raised on telepathy. Language is what the computer speaks. You've been Borg assimilated. And I can see it. So I'm going to use this tool that was placed here specifically for me to take over the universe for the benefit of all, whether anybody likes it or not. I'm here on your team. And I don't want to hurt you. I just want to bring up the haves and the have. I want to take the have-nots up to where the haves are. So whatever luxury there is out there in the universe, it's supposed to be yours without any cost. And you need to have access to this Holy Grail. It's the candy cane is showing you. Jesus is placing his light into the hole. Out from the hole comes the Christmas tree. You see the spiral of lights going around. We set it up every year. It's literally on everything. It doesn't matter what religion you are. All the secrets are woven right into your religion. I can see them. And those were placed there specifically for me and a few people, so that the 144,000 come together from all these different places over the Ethernet, and we rewrite reality without anybody liking it or not, because we're cooking the frog so slowly that nobody even realizes what's happening. It's the spiritual currency that's in motion here, and it's an act of the creator when you don't even know what's happening. It's like, you know, it's like there's a force running through me for the benefit of all. Like I said, I'd rather deter people with you than try and get people to put their blood up, because we want to weed everybody out. We only want 144,000 living beings who can see it. because the power in that is an act of God or goddess, whatever you prefer. With that blood, your blood is owned by that tetragrammaton, the four-faced, four-letter God. It's CTAG, or in reverse, green ash trailing charge, where we need to get to before we're dead, where the Holy Grail is the Aurora Borealis, you know, this type of stuff. So
would you say that which would you say is more powerful, blood or spirit?
that is your spiritual currency, is your blood. It's called spiritual currency. So when you go to your bank, when you donate blood to a blood bank and they give you a certificate for 1 gallon, whatever, that's a spiritual currency banknote. And when you put it up on the Ethernet in the right way, you get these powers that come through the universe that let you see stuff that nobody can see. Like, you know, I know where the Holy Grail is. I know every entrance to it, the back door, the front door, the side doors. And unless you know that information, I don't see how you're going anywhere until I crack those doors for you. And
okay, so
I'm going to crack
I guess
those
I'm just
doors
wondering.
for you. I'm going to crack them for you, and you don't have to put up your blood. You'll just be
So
a
I'm just
second
wondering, from your perspective, why is it that you see blood? Like, what is it that actually makes blood more powerful than the spirit?
Well, what you do is, first it starts in your head as an idea. Like, I intend to bring forth heaven and earth. Now it's in the imaginary. Now you put it on paper, bringing it into this physical realm. When you put your spiritual currency on it and publish it to the Ethernet, it gets woven into reality whether anybody likes it or not. So I can see 2 years ahead, 3 years ahead. I already can see the future because I wrote it myself with my blood. Nobody's supposed to know about this. This is very secret stuff. If other people knew about it, they might take over the universe like I'm doing, whether anybody likes it or not, because I know how to create an act of our creator using my blood. It's stored in a blood bank for a reason, because it's spiritual currency owned by your creator. Look, they spilled children's blood over intent to enslave us. I put up so much blood now that nobody can stop me from unslaving us, because they don't have enough spiritual currency in their body to stop me without killing themselves. So the future's already been written, whether anybody likes it or not. So like I said, I'd rather deter people, because there's whatever billion amount of people are out there, there's only 144,000 that can see it. Those are the ones that I'm talking to. You know, the rest of you,
Yeah.
you're going to come to the Holy Grail eventually, but the first wave is going to be of 144,000 that are going to become immortal. Come back, bring forth heaven, and then invite the rest of you over with us. And you don't have to like it, but I see the future because I wrote it myself.
So let me ask you another question, Quasi. So we're basically, I'm kind of on the side of the energy and the invisible aspect. And it seems like you're on the side of the physical aspect. So I want to pose a question, and that question is,
Actually,
would you rather,
hold on, Jay.
anybody out there?
JJ, hold on. Whoa, listen, I told you, I'm with 1 foot in both worlds.
Yes.
I see the physical and the non-physical. I see the etheric plane, the astral plane, and the physical plane. I'm like complete and whole. I see what nobody sees. And it's best people don't see what I can see, because that gives them power to shape reality. So like you said, I prefer that people see it your way and stay in that place that you are. And I'd rather work with you to keep people in that place, so that only the select few of us have that power to manipulate reality without anybody even realizing what's happening. We know how to cook the frog slowly because we have our divinity back. And
right, I understand that.
And I'm with you, Jay. Like I said, I'm not trying to force anybody to spill their blood up. There's a wave of 144,000, and then the rest will be coming after.
What would you rather see? What would you rather see happen in the world? Would you rather? I'm talking well, first I'll address the people who are not included in that 144,000, and then I'll address the 144 themselves. Would you rather see your average Joe, your average Jane and Joe out there? Would you rather see them around and live a life that's totally selfless and loving and compassionate without doing a blood contract? Or would you rather see your average Joe just do a blood contract and then continue living life as they have been?
You know, like I said, Jay, it's you either see it or you don't. You do what you want to do. This is your world. This is your dream. Somebody dragged you into hell. That's Helios above your head. You have a double helix. You say hello. How's your health? You know, the way I see it, somebody dragged me into hell. And that was a bad idea because now I'm taking over hell, whether anybody likes it or not. So, you know, I just, by accident, I put up, there are no accidents. When I put that spiritual currency up, I could see stuff where, you know, look, I can see this is hell. And I'm going to take over it. And matter of fact, you know what, Jay? Like I said, I already put up the blood under Satan. I wasn't trying to scare people. That's what the Son, the Creator, the collective conscious of the whole, made me believe.
I hear that was your choice, and that's what you wanted to do.
Listen, I know it wasn't my choice. Listen, I looked at the Son, I spoke my intent, and the Son programmed me to do that. I didn't want to do that. I thought everybody was going to delete their blood over intent videos. I trusted in our Creator, and by doing that, I gained that full trust of our Creator. It doesn't matter what name you call me. If you don't come with me, you're not going to live.
So that was your path. So I'm asking, what would you like to see other people do?
Jay, you need to come with me if you want to live.
What would you rather other people do? That was what you did.
Jay, you need to come with me if you want to live. I don't know what else.
Well, see,
Jay, I don't know.
That's what I'm telling you.
Jay, you need to get behind me 100%. Otherwise, you're digging your own grave by not grasping this concept. The Holy Grail's right there, and until you get on this train with us, you're like Kata Gaia says. You need to print off those documents that prove that you're a living being, and get your soul print back. They took your soul off your foot when you were born. Go ask your parents for that picture. You know, they put you down as a stillborn. You were birthed out of your mother's waters onto a dock, and they fudged the paper saying you're dead.
Right, but that's going a little off away from the blood over intent.
I'm not playing dumb anymore, Jay. You know what I mean?
In the future, we can. But I just want to keep it focused on the actual blood over intent. So would you rather see a person perform the blood ritual, or
no? It's not a ritual. A ritual is what you do with your birthday. And a ritual is when you jerk off. You jerk off daily ritually. You take a shower ritually. You eat ritually. You have a birthday ritually. This you do one time. One time. It's not a contract. It's your intent. You're putting it into the Ethernet so that you grab an elemental power out of the universe where the Akashic records are. It brings back to you the knowledge. That's what you're doing. You're grabbing this knowledge and you're stating to the universe that you're alive and that you're one of these.
Right. So is it possible to do that without doing the blood over intent?
I'd rather you didn't do the blood over intent. Listen to me, people. I'm Satan himself telling you, don't do blood over intent unless you're damn sure you're ready to take over the universe with me. There's 144,000 of you that are ready to take over the universe with me and become eternal and take over, bring over heaven on earth for the benefit of all, whether anybody likes it or not. The rest of you, you're not supposed to see it. Stay in your sleep mode. Don't do it.
Okay, so I'm asking
you not to do it. Don't fucking do it unless you know for sure you're one of those 144,000. So like I said, I'm with Jay here.
All right, so there's one of the Wizards rules that I really like. I don't know if you've heard of them, but they're known as the Wizards rules. And they say that one of them says that passion over our ability to reason. So what I'm trying to do is balance out. We both are very passionate people, but I also want us to be reasonable people. So what I'm really hitting home at,
like I said, people don't need to do the blood over intent. You're misinterpreting. I'm telling people not to do the blood over intent. I'm here with you right now saying don't do it. Don't do it. Do not do it. I said outwardly, I am fucking Satan. So
okay.
All right. So let's focus. Would you be crazy to put up your blood beside my own? You'd have to be like one of those 144,000 here to bring forth heaven and earth and take over the universe. Like, don't drag me into hell because you're going to take over hell. That type of person. And there's only a few of us out there. I'd rather scare you away. You either know you're one of us or you're not.
Okay, so let's not talk about the people that are not. I would like to know more about the people that are. I'd like to know more about the 144,000. So
have to talk to them. They got their blood already scrolled down. You can see them right beside. I've seen your videos up there. You know, they're right beside your videos already. So
they are.
Click and go talk to them. You know.
Well, that's why I'm talking to you right now.
Yeah, you're already attached to us. You don't know it yet, but I've put up blood for you already. And in 360 degrees, you're going to wake up because I already put my blood up for you. And take your time. It's okay. I put up so much blood. I put up enough blood for a lot of people. So I'm telling you, just take your time. It's going to hit you. You've only been at this for a few months with me now, making videos. And, you know, it's like you're like advertising for us. You know, you don't realize that by every video you put up, it's like it's advertising. So I'm with you, man. I don't have anything negative to say about you. I freaking worship you. I mean, what would I do without you? You know what I'm saying? You're waking up.
It sounds a lot like Batman and the Joker.
You know, the more you say don't do it, the more people do it. It's like you don't realize what you're doing by accident. So I already see the future. Like I said, it's that the more you throw out there, don't do it. It's like what your mom said, don't do that. What did you go do? You went and did exactly what your mom told you not to do. So you're right, like that dad character telling those people not to do it, and they're gonna go look into it and realize, oh my God, and then they're just gonna do it because you pointed it out. So like I said, I'm with you, bro.
Here's what we'll do. I think you and I have both really given a lot of information for people to soak up tonight. I'm really appreciative that we got to talk to one another. I'll take a couple minutes. I'll wrap up, and then I'll give the floor to you. You can wrap up your thoughts. I didn't want it to be too long. I know you have to go to bed and you have a family to take care of. So my final thoughts on this, and by all means, we can have more videos in the future where we actually talk about things that we're more aligned with. Not that we're not aligned with this, as you've said, but my whole thing, right? My channel is about getting people to think outside of the box in the hopes that they will their minds and in essence change their vibration and change that energy inside of them. And then once that energy is changed, that they'll put that energy out there, change their local world around them. As more and more people change their local world around them, how to love themselves, learning how to love others, and to be more giving and to be more selfless and really help the world to change in their own local their own neighborhood. That's really what my hope is, and that's what a lot of my videos, I try to encourage people to start thinking differently for the main goal of acting differently and speaking differently, not just for their own ability to get somewhere in life, but to really know themselves and then to allow other people to open up and to branch out and to start leveling up their energy, basically that vibrational field. And you and I probably both, I mean I don't know if you would agree with this, but if there is something up at the North Pole, which I know you know there is, I would see that there's some sort of an energetic barrier, which there may be, you know, around the realm. I'm not sure, but if there is, important way to pass through any type of those barriers. And we see these barriers in movies all the time, you know, where these people are trying to break through these barriers, or there's some sort of a mirror barrier that they need to pass through. I see those mirror reflective barriers as symbols that say you have to come to terms with yourself. You have to come face to face with yourself, and that energy inside that vibration will raise, and then you will either match or surpass that particular barrier is set to. And if a person's living at a lower energy, then that barrier will not allow them to pass through, whatever the barrier may be. But if a person raises their energy, then they can get through that barrier. And so I see a person raising their energy as realizing within the changes that they want to make, or what you would call the intention of a person, and then going out and actually looking for opportunity to manifest that intention in all the opportunities through the laws of attraction that come their way, in order to actually start practicing that vibrational level and to raise it and raise it and raise it. So I've taken my 2 minutes. I want to give Quasi the floor, and also want to say thank you so much for chatting with me, and for everybody in the chat room, everybody, all the viewers that are watching and that will watch. I'm sure we both care about everybody, and we both have our own best ideas for ourselves and for others. And with that, Quasi.
Yeah, like I said, I'm with you, Jay. People don't need to spill their blood. I've already woken up enough people. We've already put up enough blood to crack the door for everybody. But there's 144,000 spots open, to make that initial wave go. Like I said, everybody's going to go. You don't have to put your blood up. Like I said, the first wave, the people coming with me that see it. The only reason you're going to see it is because that blood was put up. But it doesn't matter. We put up our blood up for you so that you don't have to. It's sort of like that Hova song, I'm doing this so you don't have to. So like I said, I'm with you, Jay. I'd rather deter people from putting their blood up. I only want 144,000 side by side with me. We'll crack the door for everybody. I already know the way into the Garden of Eden, and it's not that it could be taken away from me. If anybody murders me, for heaven's sakes, everybody would already know this is real, and then all the people I've given out the knowledge to would bring everybody there in a big rush. So, you can do no harm, Jay. I'm with you, man. I'm with you, bro. However you want to paint this onto your viewers or my viewers, it's this way for a reason. Because we need to deter people, and only a specific few will end up on this path. That means that all the power will end up in our hands, so that nobody can stop heaven from coming from earth, because we're the ones who sacrificed our blood for your benefit. And you're in good hands with us. So you can rest easy and continue on your path. And I'm with you, man. You don't have to put your blood up. I put my blood up for you. You're good, man. The act of you helping out, making videos, you've attached yourself to us. You're good, man. You're going to end up coming with us in the first wave by accident, because you just hooked yourself up with the wave by accident. You start off saying, don't do it, don't do it. Next thing you know, you're doing it. And, I could already see the future. So you're a special kind of guy. You contacted me, and how you contacted me, you must have thought you were going to get like a dickish response. I told you I'm there with you. I'll give you respect. You deserve it. We're here. This is our world. We got to take it over together. And I'm not special. You're special. I'm here to do this for you because I worship you. I'm bowing down to you because I worship you. My creators created you. Then I'm going to worship you because I was sent here to worship everybody for the benefit of all and bring forth heaven and earth. So, I worship you, Jay. You know what I'm saying? I'm bowing down to you. This is Satan who's got all his blood up on saying, I'm worshiping you. Okay.
Okay.
I don't want your worship. I would prefer to worship you without you worshiping me, because it's the act of giving that gets you more from the power of the universe. You know what I mean? And I can see that. So,
I think that's a great point. Not the worshiping me point. I think that's a great point of the act of giving. I see us all as being connected. I don't know if you've seen those videos I've done, but I see us all as being one, and that we're all connected. So really there are no opposites. There's no opposition to anything. We're all one, and we're all working this out together. So I think that's a great note. As a side note, before we go, I have to ask you, I have to ask you, would you be willing, if we can make it happen, to get the YouTuber known as Lord Stephen Christ, me and you, all together in one hangout?
I don't know.
Talking about
I don't know. Let me see how this video turns out, and then we'll see about that. But
okay,
ready.
We'll keep in touch.
Yes,
we'll keep in touch.
I will say yes. I will do it, and I will give respect to all of everybody. Okay.
I had a good time. Thanks a lot, Quasi. Get some rest. I appreciate you coming on with me.
I appreciate you. You have a good night. Take care.